So how do you write an email to a busy person you don't know that you want to entice them to pay attention to you and respond? I get dozens of emails a week from strangers, students in foreign countries, colleagues who want data, people who are just, saw me on some internet site and have a question for me. And I also write lots of emails to other people, billionaires that I hope will fund my lab, or colleagues from whom I need some help of some kind. And the question is, how do you write an email like that gets someone's attention? And first of all, I think there's some basics that are really important. I think the title of the email has to be descriptive and informative in and of itself. It can't be like introduction or hello. Those are crappy titles. You have to say request for a meeting about data access, or curiosity about your paper published last month. There has to be some email title that makes sense. And then I think it's very important to not just say, hi, professor, or have something that's clearly automated, like, dear Professor Nicholas A. Christakis, or some name field. That's clearly an indicator that you've made no effort and that you've automated the process. So it should say, dear Nicholas, or dear Professor Christakis. And then you should have your first sentence should be immediately to the point. I write to seek a meeting with you next month. New paragraph. And then the body of the email that is making the ask. A terrible first sentence would be a very long and meandering sentence that say, dear Professor Christakis, for years I've been a fan of your work. I've been examining social networks in my laboratory in a variety of parts around the world. Recently, I've been reading your papers, and I've noticed that you are also interested in this topic. And so at this point, what I would like to do, and then, I am 4 or 5 sentences in, I still don't know why you're writing to me. Are you writing to me because you want a meeting? Do you need a response from me? Do you need an introduction to someone else? Do you need some data? Do you need some code? Are you inviting me to give a talk? What is it that you're after? And sometimes I'll get emails that are 6 or 7 paragraphs of description of what the person is doing, maybe some flattery, maybe some description of what I've been doing, before they finally get to the point. And by then, you've lost me. And I'm very keenly aware of this when I write emails to other people. I think it's very important that you spend at least 10 times as much time writing the email as you expect the person to spend reading it. So if you want the person to spend 2 minutes writing and reading your email, you need to spend 20 minutes crafting it. And this is the same rule that I follow. When I write to potential donors of my lab, I might send this very busy billionaire or this very busy fellow scientist a 3-paragraph email. Each paragraph might have 3 sentences in it. And I might expect them to spend 5 minutes on it. And I might literally spend 4 hours crafting that email. So it's exactly the right tone, exactly the right content, the right sequence of ideas. It gets right to the point. And then it also has something that is engaging, or a hook. So part of what you need to do, I think, when you write a good email is you have to also give a vivid example of the thinking of which you are capable. So I don't expect a high school student or a college student or a graduate student or a colleague to have the same level of vividness and novelty in what they're pitching. But commensurate with the level you're at, you should indicate that you have something to offer, that you've given some thought to the topic. And you should also signal that you have skin in the game, that you've made some effort to understand who I am and what I have to offer. And so, yes, I will allocate time to this, responding to this email or meeting with the person or whatever it is that they're asking.